Hi, everybody. Welcome to the KC CHIROPulse podcast, brought to you by CATS Consultants, helping doctors keep their pulse on success. So I'm Dr. Michael Perusich. I'm here with my good friend today, Mark Reiter, with MultiRadiance lasers, right? That's right, isn't it, Mark?
MultiRadiance Medical.
There you go.
The official name.
The official name.
We kind of call ourselves MRM and all, but yeah, we're a laser light therapy company.
Yeah, and Mark, we've known each other for years. I'm not even going to say how long because that'll date both of us. But you are, in my opinion, you are the guru of the best chiropractic equipment that chiropractors need. And it's so exciting that you're with MultiRadiance. And my first laser was MultiRadiance, and loved that little laser. It was just awesome, and it was. I don't know that laser, you can really say that it was old technology, but it worked, and it worked beautifully. So, and I know you guys have some new things. Your company is so innovative, and that's what I wanted to talk about today was some of the new laser stuff that you guys are doing.
Yeah, that's really true too. And what's funny is the technology, especially our technology, the basic technology that we use hasn't changed a lot since you got your first laser. Was it the late 90s, early 2000s?
It might have been 2000.
Yeah.
It was way
about
back.
the time that I started working with MultiRadiance as a distributor. And of course, now about 2.5 years ago, I went to work with them directly. And, the technology itself hasn't changed dramatically. How we look at it, how we deliver it, the ability to deliver it in portable systems has really changed. To be able to take a laser from room to room or home as it sneaks into the picture, right?
I can't wait to hear about
this. Almost like you would do a TINS unit. That's what's amazing, is when we talk to people today and they see, and I'll pull a couple lasers out of as they enter this is a pro model, a clinical model that has, the stem built into it. And I think the one you had may or may not have had the stem.
It did not have the stem
in the consoles. And then we also do, this one is like a shower, and you can see how many diodes, and how much space you can cover. It's totally portable. You can take this thing
it's so small.
From room to room. I love going into offices, where there's multiple doctors or there's multiple people being worked on. And I hear people, they see a hand come around the corner, they're like, hey, give me the laser, right? How many people can do that without having to unplug it from the wall, take it to the other place? And, another thing that we do is about 50% of our business is in animal health. And we love animal health because animal health loves us, because we're portable, right? If you're treating, let's say you're treating, large animals like horses or even livestock, you can take this thing right out to the stable with you and go treat that animal the same way you would treat a human. We treat the same conditions. We treat for, pain, swelling, inflammation, for healing, tendon regrowth, all that stuff. You take it right out to the barn with you and have the same power as if it were plugged in.
Yeah, you can't always bring the horse to the clinic.
It's almost impossible to get modalities down to a horse stable, to a barn, or and I will tell you, being the last time we got together and talked about this, which has been a while back, when I turned this laser on, my cat came flying at me. Do you remember? Because he heard the laser, and he's an 8-year-old cat, and like any animal, they get aches and pains, and the laser really helps take those aches and pains away. And he knows when this thing goes on, he's going to come up, and I'm going to give him a little laser treatment to his hips, that are getting older, and just make them feel better. So I guess I told you I'm a little ADD. I'll get completely off track if you allow it. But the initial question is kind of technology and what's changed and what's innovative. And I'd say what's more innovative than the actual technology itself is the way we can deliver it.
Right.
in portable and have the power to do it. Right.
Okay. But
my wife drives a Prius.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and so, people say, oh, I don't want something with a battery. I want something that I can plug in. Right. And,
Right.
If you ever had, power tools, like, I don't want one of those batteries. They run down, they run down so fast, I can't trust them. I want something I can plug in. I don't know anybody now that's not using, these, 20-volt lithium, and nobody's plugging a power tool in anymore. And so the ability to deliver that same energy, in a package that you can carry around and hand off room to room, that's really, to me, that's the innovation.
And that's huge. Because, like, for example, in my clinic, I worked out of multiple rooms. So, I was constantly moving, and, to be stuck with a power cord was difficult, but you guys have taken portability to the next level.
Yeah.
You've actually created a process of a laser that you can not just put in the doctor's hands or the therapist's hands, you put it in the patient's hands.
Yeah.
And I think that's super exciting. So if you don't mind, talk a little bit about that.
Well, most doctors that I know, and, again, like you, I've been in this business a couple of years. I had brown hair back a while ago, but most doctors have dispensed some sort of rental products, from their office. And what I'm talking about for the most part is a TENS unit, or classic, an EMS type, something like that, and are used to collecting rent, billing rent, doing those things. And so I think probably even 3 or 4 years ago, if not even less than that, nobody would have dreamed that you could send laser therapy home with a patient, right? I mean, I know some of the lasers you have, and thankfully I've been on the receiving end of most of them in one way or another. And, you're not sending those lasers home with patients, right? No. First of all, they're very expensive. They can be, in some ways they can be dangerous in the wrong hands, especially, the different, classes of laser, right?
Misused. Yeah.
It can easily be misused, right? So you got somebody going, hey, how does this thing work?
Right.
What? Is it on?
Why am I blind now?
Right. I remember yesterday when I could see. And so, really, you didn't want them in the hands of the patient at all. You want to train people being able to operate them. But what we've done, and a lot of our technology isn't just the laser. We, as a base technology, we don't believe that more is better, right? And that can be a pervasive narrative in the laser business, and to just frankly say, more is better, more means faster. And that's not necessarily true. It's really about getting light into target tissue, and how can we do that, and how can we do it safely and effectively, and repeat the treatment to get the same outcomes. And that's another problem too. People use it differently. They put it in someone else's hands and say, well, I didn't get the results. And so, well, I get results with every patient.
Right.
I didn't get results with anybody. And so it has to be repeatable.
Right.
And so having a laser like this that is safe enough to go home, we use a high-powered diode. In this particular one, it's a 15-watt diode. And you might say, whoa, 15 watts, that'll cut through steel. It's not continuous. We use a technology called superpulsing. It's not a word that we made up. It's in the industry. When you take a high-powered laser and you pulse it, in millions or even billions of second bursts, you have this incredibly intense laser. Think blowtorch. Think a acetylene torch, right? The hottest thing you can think of, but you're turning it on and off so few times that you're getting the energy from that, but you're not getting the heat. Right. And so this is actually rated safe enough that it can be considered an over-the-counter medical device. So what we do is we teach our doctors how to rinse them. We provide all the next big fear. Let me get the next big fear. I'm not going to send, a laser like this sells for around $3,000.
Okay.
And that's significantly higher than a TENS unit, right?
Right.
You know? And you think, well, if I lost a $50 TENS unit, I wouldn't be happy about it, but you know, I'd live through it. You know, you think, well, if I lost my $3,000 laser, I'm going to be a little more upset than I would be a $50 TENS unit. So we try to provide all the documentation we can that a doctor needs to make sure they're comfortable that if something should, you know, and this table is made out of real wood, and we haven't had one yet. And we have hundreds and hundreds of people renting, you know, hundreds and hundreds of units. And we have yet to hear about one that got stolen, one that got broken, one that got run over. You know, it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened yet, right? Yeah, one did get run over, but that was a pro unit. Yeah, I sent you pictures of. Yeah, you can't run over one of the lasers. That's a very bad idea. But so far, the rentals, none of them have been run over. And you know, we do put them in a case. This is a sleeve. You know, right. It comes off this. It's a silicone sleeve. It helps make them, you know, more durable and easier to hold on to. Sure. But we try to provide the documentation as well to make the doctors comfortable, you know, that they can rent them out. And they're not going to get stolen. They're not going to get damaged if something does go wrong. You know, they've got a legal kind of contract, you know, that says I can charge your credit card if something should go wrong. You know, we also have several people who rent say they have the trick of, if I can find it. I have a cool kit of stuff next to me that you can't see. Some take the little charger, which phenomenally enough, you can't find this charger just on Amazon. And I have tried. And
interesting.
If I could just get them down and dirty, cheap, you know, whatever. But apparently our company was smart enough to contract for chargers that are fairly unique. And so we have some doctors who withhold the charger and say, when you come back in, you know, bring your laser and we'll go over your results and, you know, and we'll recharge the laser. Yeah. Yeah, that's smart. It's the next question, and I'll anticipate your next question just because I've had this conversation often enough, is how do you charge for it? What do you charge for it? You know,
that was my next question.
Yeah, how does a doctor get it into practice and make sure that they're going to get their return on investment and all that stuff? You know, how do I turn one rental laser into, we have a veterinarian in Colorado that is up to about 43 of these things.
Wow.
And he's like, the passive income, he said, I always wanted a job where I could go to bed and get paid while I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the dream, right? If you open, you know, some sort of thing, can I get paid while I'm asleep? And he's now got 40 plus of these in the field and, you know, people paying rents on them. So what we suggest is if you have a unit like this, or even if you have another unit, and that's another thing that we really brag about is, I want you to have our clinical units. You know, I think you would enjoy having one of our clinical units. But if you don't, if you have something else, if you have, you know, a Light Force or a Chattanooga or some other kind of laser, and you believe in laser therapy, you still can't send that laser home. Right. You can send this one home. So what we suggest is that you do kind of a per day billing, what you would charge per treatment. So if you charge $30, let's say you charge $30 for one treatment in your office with your laser, then what we suggest is you charge $30 a day for your rental laser. So that's about, you know, $200 a week. We say 7-day minimums, and then they can take it home and they can use it as many times as they want. And, you know, that's really beneficial because, you know, especially in acute cases, you know, more is better. You know, the more they can treat, the more often they can treat, the better they're going to feel faster, the better results you're going to have. And no,
that frequency is important.
It is. And it doesn't keep them from coming back to you.
Sure.
You know, that's something I've heard too. Oh, well, they're just going to take the laser home and then they won't come and see me. And that's not true. That's never been true.
If that's the case, they bought it.
Yeah, they'll never come back, right? You've got to set them up to come back. This is an adjunct. It is not an adjustment. And I remember back in, this will really date me. This was prior to the chiropractic centennial in Davenport, and this was in the 90s, and I was at Palmer Homecoming, and it was the first time they had allowed modalities on the floor of Palmer Homecoming.
Right.
And I was there with my, LSI units, and it was with LSI at the time, and Jim Lane, for anybody that's old and remembers us. And we were there, and I had a doctor come by and was very, antagonistic, and said, a good doctor doesn't need that junk, right? And I said, I agree with you 100%, right? You don't need it, right? A good chiropractor is going to get results, no matter what they do.
As long as you bring your hands.
Yeah, it's it. As long as you bring your hands, right?
Yeah.
I've been adjusted, by guys that just adjust the top two bones,
right.
And guess what? I felt better. I got results. But if you can have multiple tools to help you do a job, multiple tools to help get things done and get them done quicker and better, then that doesn't replace what you do, and it doesn't replace the adjustment at all. Never has.
Right.
Nothing I've ever sold, replace the adjustment. So I get adjusted once a week right here.
This is just
Tonganoxie, Kansas.
There you go. This is just such a great idea, though. And think about the passive income that you can generate. Gosh, if you had 5 of these and you had them out every week with just 5 patients, you're making an extra $1,000 a week, and you didn't do anything other than provide a great service for the patient, because they're going to be at home using the laser on a more frequent basis than just coming into your office. So you're going to get results, outcomes for the patients, more passive income, and it's great technology. And you guys are a great company.
Yeah, exactly. Perfectly said. Yeah. Thank you.
Love it. Well, Mark, how do they get a hold of you?
Pretty easy. I am available. Can I give a phone number?
Sure.
Is that a way? I'll flash it on the screen. No, I won't. I don't have any post editing.
1-800-MARK.
Right. I'm available at 913. Write it down, everybody. 820-3752. Or my email is Reiter, and it looks like Reiter, MREITER at multiradiance.com.
Perfect. Perfect.
So, or call MultiRadiance and ask or whatever. So
yeah, and if you're out looking at lasers, give Mark a call. He's just a wealth of knowledge. So, and
thank you.
Very trustworthy. So Mark and I've known each other for, again, I'm not going to say it. It's too long. Are you guys going to be at the Florida National Convention?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I don't think I've ever missed one.
Awesome. Can't wait to see you there.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you too.
All right, Mark, thanks for coming on today, and appreciate everybody tuning in to the KC CHIROpulse podcast, brought to you by CATS Consultants. I'm Dr. Michael Perusich, helping you keep your pulse on success. Check us out at catsconsultants.com and stay informed and well adjusted. We'll see you next time.